Hi girls and boys, welcome to Elementor Tips and Tricks video clips. Today I will be talking about creative image borders like these two, and how to create buttons with image background or gradient background in Elementor. That's the third sequel of Elementor Tips and Tricks series. In previous two I talk about how to do image in text like this, and how to create fancy borders like these. So in case you are interested to watch it, you can find the links to these videos in the description below. Now if you take a look at our card boxes, you'll see the progress we've made so far. Our final goal will be to replicate the bottommost couple of card boxes. So after this tutorial I'll do another one on how to make image blobs. And I can tell that we are kinda like only one step away to the final goal. Now, if you go to csstricks.com, you'll see this little, let me open it, you'll see these little nifty gradient like borders below user avatars, and I was kinda wondering how to replicate that in Elementor. Something that will work across all browsers without any tricky CSS, JavaScript, hacks or whatsoever. So Elementor tools only. And I actually found an easy way to do it. Believe it or not, you won't need Elementor Pro for the purpose of this tutorial, because it's that simple. No extra custom CSS this time, no need for a custom CSS panel. Only a couple of hundred of mouse clicks and a bucket of goodwill. Okay? So the question is, how to create border like that? Is that a border for real or something else? Well, in our case, and apart from csstricks.com, the truth is that this method actually creates the background, which mimics the border. So it's not a real border, it's a background image behind another image. More precisely, behind our thumbnail. I've created mine as a SVG file, and it's already in media library. Let me show you how it looks like. So that's the file, and as you can see, it's actually a circle shape that's missing the other half. Besides, I've made the edges a bit rounded in order to achieve that softer look and feel. Basically, you can use any drawing application that is capable to do gradients and export file to either PNG or SVG because of transparency. We need transparency. The missing part of the full circle is actually transparent. So that's why PNG or SVG. I prefer using SVG because it's a very small file size. As you can see, it's only 1 kilobyte. Okay. Besides, it's a vector file which doesn't lose quality no matter how much you scale it up. FYI, I'm using Affinity Designer for macOS, but Photoshop will do the job as well. There's also a few free vector drawing apps for both Mac and PC. Just Google for it and I'm sure they will be just fine for such a simple task. Anyhow, so first thing we gotta do in our today's tutorial is to ensure square shaped thumbnail. So width and height should match, otherwise we won't be able to create circle shaped thumbnail, but rather end up with ellipses, and ellipsis is something that we don't need. As you can see, I have selected 150 by 150 pixel size thumbnail that is going to be big enough for what I'm about to do. Besides, that thumbnail was generated automatically by WordPress at the time I uploaded my actual image. In case you didn't know, Elementor allows you to generate any other image size on the fly. So in case you are missing that square shaped thumbnail, select custom size and enter target width and height. Image will be created for you right away. Next, I'm gonna select Style tab and be sure that my thumbnail width is set to 100 pixels. I already set it to 100 for the purpose of this tutorial. Oh, let me back my 150 by 150. Okay, let's get back to style. I don't need anything bigger than 100 pixels because this is actually an avatar image and it should be smaller size. Now in order to round the thumbnail up, I'll set border radius to 50%. Be sure that percentage is selected as the unit. And there it is. If you watched my previous video named Creative Borders, you might guess what the next step is going to be. Hence, I'm not about to actually apply real border to my thumbnail, but rather emulate border by setting up background. I'll select Advanced tab and then open Background panel. Now, I'm about to select my border image from media library. Okay, that's the one I'm going to use. Position will be top left. Okay, top left. I don't need repeatable background, so I'll select no repeat, and the size will be contain. That's how it'll fit thumbnail shape and size. You cannot see much yet because we are missing padding on thumbnail, so let's add some. Okay, Advanced tab, Advanced panel, and I'll enter 7 pixels padding to all 4 sides of the thumbnail. You can enter any other value if you like, but I kind of think that 7 pixels will do fine if we consider the size of the thumbnail. So padding will actually represent our border width. Okay, and that's pretty much it. As for the second card box, I'll do the following. I'll just copy paste style from the first one. So watch it. Right mouse click on the pen icon, copy, select my second image widget, right mouse click and paste style, and there you go. Hence I'm about to use different style border. I'll have to select different image from media library. So Advanced tab, Background panel, and reselect my background image, insert media, and that's it. What if I want to add some space between the quasi border and the thumbnail itself, as seen on my card boxes below, like this one and this one? Well, that's easy one. I'll select my image widget first. I'll go to Style, and under border type I'll select solid. Then I will add, for example, I don't know, 3 pixels for all 4 sides, and border color should match our card box background color. Okay, this is due to make it look like there's a gap. So first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna highlight my column in order to find out the background color of the card box itself. Column, style, color, copy, go back to image widget and paste here. So that's it. Now I'm gonna repeat the same for my second avatar. I'll go to Style, border type solid, 3 pixels, and let's find out the background color of my card box. Highlight the column, Style, copy, and reselect image widget, paste color, and that's basically it. What if I want to realign or reposition the thumbnail? Is that possible? Of course it is, but there's a little trick to it. Okay, be sure to highlight image widget, select content, and use alignment icons to reposition the thumbnail. However, as you can see, the background does not follow it. So I'll go to Advanced tab, Background, and change the position of my background. I'll set it to center, and there you go. So that's how it works, realignment of my thumbnail. along with the background, of course. Just to mention that all I did so far applies only if you are dealing with rounded thumbnails. What if the thumbnail is square shaped and I want to add a background to it? Once again, what if the thumbnail is square shaped? I'm stressing the word thumbnail. As you can see, thumbnail is way smaller than the image widget container. So blue border represents the area of my image widget container. Our quasi border is the background of the image widget container, not the image itself. So let's study the case a bit just to make things clear enough. First thing, I'm going to remove roundness from the thumbnail. Okay? Let's get things back as they were before. Top left, content, alignment to left. Okay. Now let's remove the roundness. Set to none or 0, whatever you prefer. And the next step is to select a different background. So I'll open media library and I'll choose irregular shape background. Let's say I think this one will be fine. Okay, insert media. Well, it doesn't seem to look that cool anymore, correct? As you can see, we have lost the border. It's just out of shape, and all we got now is a background image applied to our image widget container, and the thumbnail sitting on top of it, and that looks just crappy. Luckily, Elementor is such a nice tool and offers solution for almost any problem. Watch this. With Advanced tab selected, I'll go to Custom Positioning panel. Under Width option, I'll select Inline. Almost there. All I have to do now is to make the background cover all the thumbnail occupied space. So I'll open background panel again and set the size to cover, and the problem solved. However, let me show you something. If I go back to content and try to reselect alignment, it doesn't work anymore. Okay, why? Well, because there's no room for alignment. Okay, by using inline position, our image widget became as narrow as or as wide as dictated by the content inside, more precisely by the thumbnail or image width, which is 100 pixels. So there's no side to align the thumbnail to. Generally speaking, whenever you are dealing with inline positioned element in Elementor, not only images in particular, alignment is dictated by the container. In this case, container is the column. So let's highlight the column. Now, with the column highlighted, I'm going to open Layout tab of my section column and change horizontal alignment from default to center. If I want to align my thumbnail to the center, then I'm going to select center. Or if I want to have my thumbnail aligned to the right hand side of the container. And that's it. I actually try to trigger and resolve any possible issue that you might be faced with in case you decide to replicate these fancy borders. So that's how you want me to bang your head against the wall and say it's not working if I do this or if I do that. But in case you have any extra question, feel free to post it in comment section below. I'll try to reply as soon as possible. Now let's just get things back to initial state, because for the purpose of this tutorial we'll be using rounded thumbnails. So advanced custom positioning back to default. Background, that's the one we used initially, and I have to set it to contain. And now border radius of my thumbnail is going to be 50, and there we are. So let's now restyle our buttons. First card box button should have a gradient background, while the second one will use an image. As you know, Elementor allows you to set flat color for a button background for both normal and hover state. So we're gonna have to use a little trick to override that limitation. And the trick is, again, to set the button background while the real background color must remain transparent. Okay, so let's do that. Let's handle the second card box button first. Okay, I'll use background image that is identical to the one used for the image in text, effect, and image border. Okay, so select button, make it active, open style tab, be sure to open style tab, leave button text color to black, and set opacity of the background to 0. For a hover state, leave text color white and set background opacity to 0 again. Okay, now open advanced tab, select background panel, and pick up the background image, which is this one. Insert. Position is going to be center. No need to repeat image, and we'll set the size to cover. However, I don't want my button to stretch across the entire card box. I want to make it as wide as dictated by the text inside button. I just want to have a regular button just like this one. Okay, so while still under advanced tab, expand custom positioning panel and select inline for the width, and there you go, we got it fixed. If you recall, we just did something like that to our thumbnail image a few minutes ago. So by using inline positioning, we have control over the width of the certain widget, or I don't know, container. Button hover state can be set as a different background if you select hover. Background type, and let's select this one. Insert media, and there you go. That's the hover effect. Okay. Now the first card button. Select our button widget, open advanced tab, background panel, and the difference is that we are about to set the gradient. Okay, so click the gradient icon. We'll make some nice gradient, and like this one. Okay, that fits our design. I'll actually copy colors from below card boxes just to speed things up. Okay, so the first color is going to be bluish color, blue. Okay, paste, and the second one is going to be green. Okay, now the location will be 5%, 5 and 95. Type linear, angle is going to be 200. Alright, now we just have to remove the real background color from our button. I'll set the transparency to 0. And we have to fix the button width, which is controlled by custom positioning. I'll just select inline. Oh, one thing. Because of the fact that's an inline element, it it is affected by the horizontal alignment of our container, of our column. Okay, so I'll highlight the column again, go to horizontal align and set to default. There it is. And that's pretty much it. The last thing on the list is to check all in different browsers. So I'll update and see how it looks like in Safari, in Firefox first, and it looks just fine. Now let's go to Google Chrome, refresh. Okay, it looks nice. Try to resize. All good. And finally Safari, refresh, and there it is. Okay, that's it for today. The next tutorial, as I already said, will be about how to make image blobs. If you are eager to find out how it's done, great, be sure to come back. Other than that, hopefully you enjoyed this one. If you did, give me a thumb up, subscribe, spread the word, share, comment. If you do that, I'll make more Elementor tips and tricks. Goodbye, boys and girls.